Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Tembe Elephant Park here in Maputo land, South Africa. It is a lovely sunny afternoon today, and we have some massive elephant bulls having a nice chilled afternoon in the sunshine. My name is Kerry Dupree, everybody, and I will be your naturalist for the afternoon. I'm looking forward to having a nice little bit of a wonder what's going to happen this afternoon. And our cameras, our African cameras that are based at all of our different locations here. And I must say, Tembe, I've always seen elephants on this these two little spots, especially on the other side of the pan there. It must be a mineral rich spot that the elephants love going and feeding from, as well as having a sand bath or a nice scrub-a-dub-dub on those trees after having a nice mud bath. So just to welcome everyone to the show, and just a reminder to everybody that this is a live and interactive experience, and you can please feel free to watch us on our website as well as on the app. And please don't forget to register and send through your questions and comments through today, folks. If you have any birding questions or wildlife questions or any questions at all, please feel free to send them through to me. We had some great questions coming through yesterday, definitely kept us well entertained. So thank you to all of the viewers that joined me yesterday. You definitely kept my mind busy and kept us all very well entertained. So thank you to everyone yesterday and everyone who's joining us today. Welcome, welcome. So please don't forget when you're sending in your questions and comments to use the hashtag WildEarth, either on YouTube or head over to Twitter, or also known as X, so that we can direct your questions through. It is a lovely sunny day today. See some nice blue skies, a bit of sunshine, a little bit of clouds. Thank you to Donna Marie and Catherine for joining us today on this lovely winter's day here in South Africa on our Africam cameras here with Wild Earth. Welcome, welcome. Catherine, I'm definitely excited to do some birding with you today. I know, Catherine, you have been to Kenya before, so maybe you can help us with some of the mystery birds I've been finding in Kenya. We did get one very strange mystery bird yesterday. It kind of looked something like a buffalo weaver, but that had sort of lost his colors, like he'd almost seen a ghost and the black completely disappeared, mottled in brown, with the red bill still, but rather strange. So yes, we are excited always to see what birds we have around. But it is definitely a lovely day. Look at that sunshine, nice clear skies, not too hot and not too cold. We have some woolly-necked storks on the left there that are also taking it easy. So Spas Iankov, thank you for joining us today again. I know you were with us yesterday, and yes, it is really amazing to be able to start today at Tembe Elephant Park in South Africa. Complete some elephant activity. This elephant bull here is having a nice sand bath. Got a bit of a tattered ear there on the left-hand side if you have a bit of a closer look. I'm also hoping we will go over to the Zimbabwe camera over in Victoria Falls at Safari Lodge. I was actually just in Victoria Falls a few weeks ago, also seeing a lot of elephants. Oh, look at this big boy. He looks a bit lazy. Sort of one of those indecisive moods. What am I going to do next? Stay here, have a drink, have a mud bath, move over there to the tree. What a hard life for an elephant. And here in the background calling, we have some common bulbuls on the left, possibly somewhere. We also have a, you can hear chip, 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 possibly like a rattling cisticola of some kind. Chip, chip. I believe we have some woolly neck stork action over at Coral Pan. So these elephants don't look like they're moving anywhere anytime soon. Let's head over to our Africam at Coral Pan and see what's happening over there. So welcome to Nkoro Pan, everybody. This is in the Greater Kruger National Park. Wow, this pan is a lot drier than it was last time I saw it, about a month ago. And this pan is thriving with activity, as you can see. We have a woolly neck stork, possibly hunting for some fish that might be getting trapped in the muddy wallow pan that we have here. And then, of course, we have a little hammerkop, also maybe hoping to catch a frog or small fish for lunch. So as the dry season is upon us, we will see this happening quite a lot. A lot of these watering holes and pans will start drying up, and that makes kind of less space for the fish, and kind of their habitat starts to diminish, and this does create a feeding frenzy for a lot of birds and storks, as well as I've even seen footage of leopards also hunting in puddles, catching some fish, crocodiles, African fish eagle. So I did have a question that came through yesterday and I was a bit stymied. So I'm going to go back to one of the questions that came through from yesterday, asking about the Africam cameras and how long they've been around and when they originally started. So I did some digging and managed to get a bit of information. So basically the Africam company started their first cameras, or installed and activated the first cameras in 1998, 1999, and it was started by Mr. Graham Wellington, which was the first camera at Djuma Game Reserve, the Dam Cam, very famously known, as I'm sure you all know of the Dam Cam. Within a few years after the Dam Cam was put up, a few other cameras were also installed at Nkoro and Kwai Marine, as well as Tau, and then they just spread into Zimbabwe, Tanzania as well, and now there's multiple cameras all over Southern Africa at all these different locations in collaboration with NGOs that might sponsor the cameras, as well as the lodges that they work with in order to have a collaboration to view all these amazing locations from all over Africa. So it's a big thanks to all of the NGOs that sponsor these cameras, as well as the lodges that work in conjunction with all of the organizations trying to bring us this amazing footage that we get the privilege of being able to sit in our homes and watch. There are multiple cameras active at the moment, anything between 6 to 20 cameras active at any one time, but I know there's definitely over 20 cameras that might be on other reserves or private cameras, and they're always very useful for not just our entertainment, but of course for research purposes, data collection, following different mammals, special species records, always very, very beneficial to the conservation industry. Mercedes Ben, thank you for the warm greetings and welcomes. Welcome back to the show again. You must be a regular on the Live at the Waterhole shows. You were with us yesterday, so thank you for joining us again. And Sandy, thank you very much for sending us an update. Apparently, Sandy had an update of an aardwolf that was at the Old Donyo camera trap earlier. Very jealous. So Oldonyo seems to be the place where everything is happening. So let's head over to Oldonyo and see what interesting bird we have that has just arrived at Oldonyo in Kenya. Look what we have here, folks, a secretary bird. How awesome. Don't see these secretary birds all the time, so it's always really amazing when you do get a chance to see them. Let's take a few moments to watch the secretary bird having a little bit of a drink. So see how he scoops up that water with his beak. So he goes down and almost uses the bottom beak to scoop it up into his mouth. Quite an interesting way of drinking, I must say. And I do love the secretary bird. So the secretary bird's a pretty cool bird of prey, I must say. They have this pretty awesome orangish yellow color on their face and cere. They've got that badass flare of feathers crest that flares up like what is happening now. Makes him look like he's a lady with quills in her hair. And then, of course, those long, thin, pink legs, which are very useful weapons when hunting for snakes. So a story I heard of where the secretary bird got its name from is, of course, because when a secretary bird is killing its prey, like, for example, a snake, they use their feet in order to stomp on the snake to kill it. And that's kind of stomping, which I've seen myself, and I must say it does look like a secretary sitting at her desk, clacking away at an old typewriter. So just like quite a few other birds of prey, the secretary bird, if you can see, doesn't have much to their legs. They've got these long, spindly little legs, which is basically just skin and a few nerves and tendons, but there's basically no flesh on their legs. And it's similar with the brown snake eagle, and that is caused to related to the fact of the prey that they eat. And hunt. So, for example, if a snake were to bite a secretary bird or a brown snake eagle on the legs, that venom would not affect them at all because there's no tissue to be damaged on their legs. So, yeah, it's a very good way to tell what a bird of prey might feed on, whether they have long, furry, fluffy legs, or whoop, and off he goes. He's not hanging around for anything. Sandy, I agree with you. This is a beautiful secretary bird. So they're usually in pairs. They have. Oh, there we go. That's what chased our poor little secretary bird away. I was wondering why it took off in such haste. We have an elephant coming to visit us at the pan. So generally, apparently Nadine, our director today, did say that we do normally have two secretary birds that hang out at this pan. So generally it is a male and female who will be together in pairs, and they do create these giant kind of platform nests on top of possibly a small acacia tree. So if you see this tree just on the left-hand side of where the elephant are, that would kind of be an ideal tree to make a nest. Almost looks like a less scruffy hummerkop's nest, and again it's just a bunch of sticks, and you can generally see the secretary birds either standing on top or sitting with their little kind of crest blowing in the wind as they sit on their eggs. Welcome, welcome, Lady Macbeth, and I hope you enjoy being with us today. And isn't this a lovely site to log into? Beautiful elephant bulls in Oldonyo in Kenya. Pretty impressive tusks they have there as well. And Darcy, I do agree with you, Darcy Miller, that these secretary birds are very elegant birds. They do a bit of a mating dance that the male will do for the female as well, where they splay up their wings and kind of jump about a little bit and flap their wings up and down. You find birds mating displays, or all animals and birds mating displays, rather interesting. If you've never seen a blue crane's mating dance, though, I would definitely recommend giving that a Google. Yeah, so definitely I would suggest, if you want to see, for me, one of the most fascinating bird mating display dances would definitely, for me, go to the blue crane and then the red-crested coron. You definitely need to give that a Google. The red-crested coron male does a strange clicking sound with his beak and kind of runs around in circles doing almost like this very weird break dance Michael Jackson move. And then some of the corons even do backflips in the air and in order to impress the females. What men do to impress us ladies. Shame. We'll just enjoy watching these elephant bulls for a while, see what they get up to. Look at the tatty. I've seen a few elephants today already, one at Tembe and one here in Oldonyo with rather tatty ears. Joanne Mello, yes, elephants are rather, they can be quite big bullies, I must say. But again, when you're the size of an elephant, everything is going to run away from you. It was quite funny. We were watching the dam cam here in Oldonyo, I think last month sometime, and the elephants were chasing away the zebra and the giraffe and everything else that came to the pan. But three little warthogs managed to sneak their way in and somehow drink without being chased away by the elephant. So, yeah. Can definitely dominate watering holes, elephants. Not always giving other antelope chance to come and drink. Mercedes-Benz thinks that there's some warthogs coming, and I must say, I think any moment now, some warthogs could possibly come for a drink as well. That would be pretty awesome. I've seen warthogs here quite a few times. Apparently, there was already warthogs that had come to visit this little pan already before the secretary bird arrived. This is a paradise for warthogs, a little puddle of water like this. Oh, warthogs love to have a good mud wallow, nice and cool. Buffaloes too. Oh, gotta watch out for those buffalo bulls huddled up in a mud wallow. Might walk past on a walking safari, and next thing a very surprised buffalo comes running out from a mud wallow around the corner, and that's not something you want to run into on foot. Just enjoying a few quiet moments watching these giant beasts in Kenya. Sorry, folks, we seem to have had some trouble with our camera over in Eldonio, so we have headed over to our African in Etosha at Okokuyu, and we have got some more elephants. Elephants seem to be the flavor of our day. Big elephant bulls coming down to have a nice midday swim or wallow. One bull doesn't look like he has very impressive tusks. It looks like he has very short tusks. We also have on the right, looks like we have some springbok down there, as well as that red hartebeest. Oh wow, Etosha, Etosha. Look at that, those white pebbles. Must say, Etosha is definitely a place that one must go and visit. If Etosha is not on your list, I would recommend putting it onto your list. So I actually only went to Etosha for the first time this year, and yeah, it was amazing. Very dry, unfortunately, and yeah, you can see the animals. These animals in Etosha, I take my hat off to them. They really do go through a lot in order to get to food and water. Food is sparse, and water is very far and few between any areas. Oh, actually, it's not red hartebeest. That looks like some kudu. Female kudu's coming down for a drink. So yes, I do take my hat off to all of these animals here in Etosha. They really are built for survival. Had a really amazing lion sighting in Etosha as well. The lions there seem to be have quite a tan color, very nice and tan, very orange, like they've been tanned by the sun. Look at that sun-kissed skin. And in the distance over there, it looks like we have some more elephants coming to join us down at the waterhole today. So I did have a question coming through from Spas Ian Cole, asking about the buffalo. Buffalo are common in Kenya. I have seen a couple of, obviously you just do have the Cape buffalo up in Kenya, and obviously I have seen a couple of bulls coming through to that specific watering hole. But yes, they are reasonably common in most parts, parks and reserves within East and Southern Africa. Um, they generally tend to avoid the drier areas, so like the southwestern parts of Africa. Buffalo will generally try to avoid those areas as it's yeah, they're limited in water, enough grass and water for them in those more desert arid areas. And these two elephants are having a bit of a bottom battle of the bottoms. So, any of our viewers that are watching today, I'd love to know what your favorite memory is from Etosha. I must say, my favorite memory must be definitely my lion sighting. That was a very, very lovely sighting. Two female lions, one lying down with possibly cubs in a bush on the other side of the road from where we were, and a female came by. And joined up with the other female lying close to us. They had a bit of a nice purring greeting moment with each other, a little bit of contact, and then they just lay together next to us. For me, I think that was one of my most special moments in Etosha. love to know what your favorite moment in Etosha was. Have you been to Etosha, Nadine? Thank you for sharing, Nadine. So, our director today, Nadine, said that she has spent a lot of time in Etosha, traveling up and down, and that it is one of the most special places, and that she really loves the country. I'm very jealous of you, Nadine, that you've done so much traveling in Etosha. It is a magical place. But I must say, I would not, yeah, I would think twice about going to Etosha with a Land Cruiser because Land Cruisers definitely are gas guzzlers, and in Etosha, everywhere you go is far. Yeah, I think we covered in two. Yes, I agree with you, Nadine. So Nadine is saying she's agreeing that Etosha is beautiful, but you do need to take a lot of time because from one destination to the next can be 300 to 700 kilometers and nothing in between, really. I think I spent 2 days doing a safari about 2 months ago in Etosha, and I think in 2 days we must have traveled, I don't know, close to 150 kilometers, 2 or 3 days, and that's on a game drive. So you can imagine. But yes, it is definitely beautiful. I don't think I would go to Etosha for less than 10 days. I think 2 weeks even would be a decent amount, especially if you're doing Namibia and you want to go and see the Cape Cross and see the seals, or if you want to go and explore some of the beautiful mountain ranges that they have. Yes, Catherine, I believe you have also spent a lot of time in Namibia. Um, Sounds like you had really great rhino sightings in Namibia as well. But I'm sure, Catherine, you must have spent quite a lot of time in Namibia to have so many amazing sightings. I think I saw one black rhino on my last trip, which was also a very, really good sighting. So that was really epic. But yes, Namibia definitely is a massive country. And if you're only going to do Etosha, then even 4 to 6 days, you would I would probably recommend you stay at all the little campsites in between and really spend your time at the watering holes. Like this one, for example, I've actually been to this exact location on my last trip. And I thought, oh my goodness, I think this is the Africam that is on the live at the waterhole at with Wild Earth. So it was pretty epic. But yeah, I would definitely 4 to 6 days minimum if you're only planning to do Etosha. But if you want to actually travel Namibia, wow, you could really turn it into quite an amazing road trip. Ah, have a look over there. While we have some elephants that have come to join us at the watering hole, and seeing as we're already on the topic of travel and Namibia, I want to just mention to everyone about the Wild Earth travel option that we do have. We have a lot of new and exciting trips for 2025. If you'd like to head over to our website and see what trips are available that you could possibly join or have planned for you by the Wild Earth team. I know we have a variety of different destinations that you can pick from. So if you want to go to Namibia or you would like to experience some African countries, please feel free to go over to our website at wildearth.travel to find out more about all of the locations that we do sell. And yeah, if you'd like to join us, I know I was just chatting to James earlier about his trip to Rwanda, which of course I'm super jealous about. James is going to go and see some of his furry friend cousins, the mountain gorillas over in Rwanda. So I know he's looking forward to that. I've already prepped him for the large size of these primates. So I hope that he will enjoy his trip to Rwanda. I know there's also some other trips that we have in the Masai Mara that are also arranged by the Wild Earth team. And of course, there is quite a few destinations within South Africa that you can also choose from if you are looking for your next destination. I know some people already have their whole itineraries booked ahead years in advance. That bucket list of travel just seems to never get shorter, it just gets longer and longer, doesn't it? But I guess you have to keep adding amazing places like what we're watching right now. Etosha must go onto your list. Yes, 100% Nadine, I agreed with you. That's what makes life interesting, having all these incredible places that we can go and visit. Oh my goodness, I'm going to try and have a count of all these elephants and see how many I can get. If anyone is keen to give me a hand, please let me know how many you can count. I think it's better to count them before they get to the water, because once they're around the pan, it's going to be impossible. I'm getting 47 elephants. There's probably more because in this corner on the right there was a whole bunch. They're all ganged up together. 40 to 50 elephants within this frame that we're currently watching. Check at these little babies. There was one that didn't know how to use its trunk yet, so it was kneeling down on its front legs and just kind of sucking the water up on its knees. And looks like we're going to have an elephant pool party on our hands. And we even have a springbok in the water as well. Isn't that interesting? Have a look there. In the middle, there's a springbok having a pool party with the elephant. So while we have this opportunity, oh, check the springbok. You got a fright. He's like, I'm out of here. Poor springbok got chased out of his mud wallow by the elephants. While we have this amazing view in front of us, we're going to just enjoy the lovely sounds of these elephants splashing about, having a mud bath, and see what else we can hear. We definitely have struck gold here today at Ukukuru over in Etosha with an elephant pool party on a winter's day, which normally, yeah, elephants, generally pool parties are more common with elephants in the summer, but I mean, Etosha is probably still quite warm at this time of the year. So no wonder these elephants are, oh my goodness, having the best time. Look at these elephants with their trunks up, and then the poor little springbok was also trying to have a pool party and have a bit of a swim and cool himself off, and then got chased out by the elephants. And then he came back, our little springbok, and got such a fright. The little elephant was also trying to chase him. The elephant and the springbok were having a bit of like a size up. Who's who? What's happening? This poor little elephant has its ears forward. And these guys are just having the best time. I must say, I do love watching elephants swimming and having a pool party. And generally, it's the teenagers, the youngsters, and the big bulls that have the most fun. Young bulls also testing us out a little bit here. What's happening there? I was just having a look at these elephants, and yes, I must agree with you, Spas Yankov, that this is an amazing sighting of this pool party today. How lucky are we to see these elephants in Etosha having a pool party? And I was having a look at these elephants' tusks here in Etosha compared to like the elephants in southern Africa, as well as the elephants where we just came from in Aldonio. And if you see, their tusks are generally very short. A lot of the bulls, there was even 2 or 3 bulls earlier that barely even had any tusks at all. And I was wondering what could be the reason for these elephants and their short tusks in Etosha. Because I must say, when I was there, I didn't see too many elephants with long tusks. So it's actually due to the mineral deficiencies within their bodies that causes the short, stubby tusks of these elephants over in Etosha. Isn't that fascinating? But these elephants in Etosha are actually the tallest elephants in Africa. Some of them have been recorded to be the tallest known elephants in Africa. But of course, when they don't have impressive sets of ivory, I think a lot of people um, kind of disregard their size. Oh, look at this guy splashing himself. Imagine after a long hot day, um, you can see a lot of these elephants are covered in that white talcum powder, Etosha dust. That I was not a fan, I must say. I was not a fan of that dust in Etosha. I really struggled. I don't think I could breathe out of my nose for about 3 or 4 days. It just kind of gets in everything, over everywhere, like white dust. And then these elephants come down to the watering hole and clean themselves off and start looking like grey elephants again. They're almost like grey ghosts, these elephants in Etosha. See this big bull, what I was talking about, very, very small stubby tusks. So Etosha National Park is actually located in northern Namibia. It's actually one of the largest national parks in Africa. How amazing, Etosha National Park. And these beautiful elephants. So the size of Etosha is known to be about 22,270 square kilometers, or 8,600 square miles. If you work in miles, that is quite a large area for a national park, and it is estimated to have anything between about 1 to 2 million visitors a year. These kudus have also come. Look at these beautiful female kudus come to pay a visit. So I know Etosha is also one of the oldest national parks. It was only established in 1907. So yeah, it has been a national park for a very long time. The elephant bulls are gonna sizing each other up a little bit. Blacksmith Plover calling in the background. So Margot, thank you very much for your question. Margot is asking what would I say is an underrated part of Namibia regarding wildlife. Uh, I know a lot of people obviously head to the Skeleton Coast mainly to see obviously the seals and obviously possibly have a chance of seeing a brown hyena, which I was also desperate to see on my last visit to Namibia. I would say, yeah, definitely the Skeleton Coast region would also be quite an underrated part because most people only think of seals and maybe brown hyena. But there's so much more to be found in the deserts in Namibia. While I was in Swakopmund, there's an option to do like a desert walk. Um, and it is so amazing how people kind of forget about all the smaller creatures that live there. I mean, I've always wanted to see a sidewinder snake and, of course, a barking gecko. I did go barking gecko hunting one night in Namibia. I was unlucky, but I'm not. Maybe if I had a bit more patience and was happy to lie on the ground for a couple of hours, I might have found one. But I ran out of patience, and yeah. But I definitely heard the barking geckos. Those are pretty epic. Sidewinder snakes. Those are must be so cool to see. And there's so many smaller little creatures that a lot of people take for granted. And just because you think you see like you don't see anything doesn't mean that there's nothing there. And all these desert creatures that occur in Namibia are so resilient. It's amazing how that they can survive in areas with so little food and water. And they've found a niche in order to survive. Look at these two babies playing in the water. So thanks for your comment as well, Nadine. So Nadine did also say if you're lucky in some parts of the Skeleton Coast, you might even be lucky to see lions, which that would be pretty epic, I must say. Yeah, lions are, of course, also the desert elephant. The elusive desert elephant is something I was also dying to see. I know Catherine has had some pretty epic sightings of the desert elephant that she shared pictures with me of. Which apparently are a lot smaller in size, and the tusks are slightly different, and also occurring kind of in the really more northwestern parts of Namibia. Um, yes, I would love to see a desert elephant, but they are quite elusive. All the places that I did stay, a lot of the staff said that the last tracks of desert elephant were seen years ago, so are not an easy one to find. Look at these guys having the best time. I want to go and jump in the closest swimming pool and just play like these elephants. Cool. Well, while we sit here and enjoy these elephants having a bit of a swim, just going to have a bit of a quiet moment to enjoy our Thursday and our hump. We're past the hump day, winding down for the weekend. Take a few breaths and then just enjoy this beautiful scene that we have in front of us. These elephants are jostling with each other and playing in Etosha National Park in Namibia. So while we were sitting here listening, we heard the pied crow calling. So in Namibia, they do have pied crow. There he is on the right-hand side of the screen, taking off. Pied crow. They do also have the Cape crows. The pied crows, black and white. Cape crows, solely black. And some of my favorite bird sightings from Etosha, I must say, was definitely the northern black coron. Of course, the Namakwa sandgrouse, as well as the shelled ducks. Those were really epic sightings to see in Etosha. We've also got a hemsbok or an oryx just in the distance over there. This elephant with his trunk curled up. Yeah, those were a few of my special bird sightings in Etosha. Catherine, if there were any special bird sightings that you had in Etosha or that anyone else has had in Etosha, please feel free to share. And Catherine did send through a comment. Thank you for your comment, Catherine, about Kanduma. Apparently, that is a very rarely visited place in Namibia. That's also quite special and has pretty amazing wildlife if you're also looking for a new place to put onto your list for Etosha. And yes, Darcy Miller, these elephants sure are enjoying this water. I must say, they are loving life. Well, it seems like we might have some zebra activity over at Aldonja, and of course, being my favorite mammal, I think we might head over to our AfriCam in Aldonja, Kenya, and see what else is hanging around there. But it has been a lovely time here in Ukukuyu in Etosha. Thank you to our elephants for the lovely pool party show that we got. Welcome back to Aldonja, everyone. We've got some zebra here, which always brighten my day. And there's a giraffe in the background too. I am wearing my lucky zebra socks, which I'm dying to show you when I go live at the end of August, when I will next be on the live safari drive. So I'll wear my lucky zebra socks. Hopefully we'll find some zebra with those. And I've also got my little lucky zebra mascot with me too, that I will also bring with me to my next safari drive that I'll be joining on, which I'm super excited about. The zebra coming down for a drink. The giraffe is gazing over into the distance over there, looking for something. What is happening over there? So while we were on the topic of travel, booking your next experience, travel experience, Timbavati, where we've got a virtual safari happening at the moment, I think, is part of the Grand Tour Wild Earth Safaris. I believe they've been having incredible luck over there. I know Lauren was possibly on drive, was it yesterday or the day before this morning, and they had a marabou stork that was fighting over a catfish, the two marabous fighting over a catfish in a little muddy puddle, like we were talking about earlier. All the storks start honing in when all these fish start being short of water to swim in and all the mud puddles start drying up. There's been incredible batted fox? No, aardwolf sightings at the Timbavati. They had an amazing female leopard sighting, very beautiful female leopard in a knobthorn tree, very orange, yellow, piercing eyes. She was quite a big female leopard, I must say. If it wasn't for her small head, I would have thought it was a male. But yeah, very beautiful female leopard. And of course, there was a lioness that looked like she was moving cubs as well. So they've been having some incredible sightings over at Timbavati. So if you're also interested to go and see what's happening over there, please go and check out our website, but also on Facebook you can go and have a look at the Wild Earth Safari fans page or a few of the Wild Earth fan pages as well to see what's happening there. They've really been having some great sightings. So, apparently, I've just got an update. The virtual safaris will be going on to YouTube in a couple of days. So, I would definitely recommend going and checking them out because they have been having some really amazing sightings there. Yeah, incredible sightings. Super jealous. Happy that they've been having some good sightings though. Would definitely recommend lots of tsetse, giraffe, of course, their little sleeping aardwolf in a den during daylight, which is also really amazing. So yeah, definitely would recommend going over there, having a look to see. Sorry, we seem to be having trouble with our Aldonio African feed, so that's why we have come back to Etosha here in Okukuyu. I did see before we left there was a giraffe that came down to join us. Nice to see a giraffe there. So another bit of an update from some of our other safaris that we've been having. So I know Steve had a safari of a cute little steenbok this morning on Juma. And of course, with that giraffe that recently died a couple of days ago, also on Juma, there's been a lot of lion activity. I wonder if they managed to get any lions still around this morning, but I know it was the plain camp lion males as well as the 3 Nkahuma lionesses that have been hanging around on Juma, possibly cleaning up on any of those scraps of that giraffe. Giraffe is a lot of meat to go around, so if a giraffe gets killed or dies, it's definitely a lot of food for quite a long time for a few predators, even on Juma, where it's a predator's paradise. And an update from Amakala. Amakala has been having incredible morning sunrises. They had a lovely sunrise this morning. It was all misty and mysterious with some waterbuck and yeah, beautiful pictures of the sunrise at Amakala this morning. They also had quite a nice encounter with the giraffe and a little baby. Very cute pictures from that, from over at Amakala in the Eastern Cape of South Africa. If we're lucky, maybe this oryx will come down for a drink. Look, there's actually 2 of them. And it must be rather warm in Etosha today because have a look at these springbok. They are also enjoying the lovely cool water of this watering hole. Welcome back, Jive Bunny. Glad to see you joining us on the show today. I think, yeah, we are over in Etosha at Okukuyo, and I'm still waiting if any of our viewers want to send through their favorite destinations in Etosha or favorite sightings. Please send through your comments. I'd love to know what experiences you've all had in Etosha or where your favorite place was to visit in Etosha. Thank you for your comment, Jive Bunny, about your Cory Busted sighting uh, on the one side of Okukuyu. That's pretty epic to see a Cory Busted there. I'm quite used to seeing Cory Busted. They're a little bit more common in some regions in Zimbabwe, so I have seen quite a lot of Cory Busted. But my favorite Jive Bunny was definitely the Northern Black Coron. The males are quite impressive, I must say. I struggled to maintain composure and stay in my seat when we had our first sighting. I almost bounced through the top of the game viewer and yeah, lost all dignity. So I was very glad that I managed to compose myself and sit very quietly and take pictures like I wasn't absolutely losing it. Rather exciting. Fortunately, I didn't get any good pictures, but I'm sure one day. Check out these springbok also going into the water. Really nice. Their belly's a little bit of a cool down. Because I tell you, I would not want to be a springbok standing in Etosha in that heat of their summers of 48 to 50 degrees, just standing there. Oh, no, thank you. That's rather warm. You see all the wildlife gather around the trees as well to get a bit of shade. There's a giraffe has also come down for a drink. So it looks like we might have some vervet monkey action over at Olifantsrivier in South Africa. So let's go have a look, see what our vervet monkeys are up to. What mischief are they getting up to? So welcome to Olifantsrivier, everyone, in the northern part of the Greater Kruger National Park. We are here with some vervet monkeys. So if you are a guide, I'm sure you will definitely agree with me when I say that monkeys and baboons are sometimes, just as with birds, but monkeys and baboons, most importantly, are sometimes our saving grace when it comes to those game drives where you're not seeing too much. It's been a quiet day, you were up early in the morning, 5 o'clock, freezing as anything, out on a drive. It's been cold, it's been quiet, you've not seen much, and you pull up into a troop of baboons or monkeys and you just sit there and let your guests watch them play. Oh dear, they're getting up to no good, of course. Always getting up to no good. But yeah, nothing better than finding a troop of baboons or a troop of vervet monkeys to keep your guests entertained on a very quiet game drive. Oh, have a look here, folks. So we have a beautiful bushbuck male. So yesterday, at this exact camera location on the Olifantsrivier, we actually had two male bushbucks. Could be this one and a friend, or yesterday not so much friend, that were having a bit of a fight. We happened to catch the tail end of the fight, so we didn't actually see them fighting. But yeah, there's definitely two male bushbuck going at each other in a duel, trying to see who is the dominant male of the area. So generally, bushbuck males like this will be quite territorial. So you'll generally see the same males in the same area, and that's probably what he was doing. This male is defending his territory from the other male that was in the area. Thank you for your comments, everyone. I can see everyone is very fond of the monkeys, baboons and monkeys. I have a love-hate relationship with them, I must say. If you're a child of Africa, I think we all go through these phases, and I think Nadine can agree with me that we always have love-hate relationships with baboons and monkeys. You love them; they're nice from far, but far from nice. And Nadine just agreed with me. Yep, they're nice at a distance, but the minute they start coming into our personal space, they start to become a problem. So, like in campsites, raiding your vehicle, jumping into your tent, in your house, worst of all. Especially, yeah, both of them, baboons and monkeys, they always leave a calling card. They like to mark their territory and make sure that you know that they were there. And monkey droppings or dung is rather unpleasant in smell. It's a little female bushbuck. Have a look there. Our male has found a friend. There we go, Nadine. You are 100% correct. So now we know why they were fighting yesterday. So these two males were obviously fighting for the affection of this beautiful female bushbuck. They're rather fluffy at this time of the year, must be to help keep them warm in the winter. The male I saw, he also had quite a fluffy backside. Jive Bunny, thank you again for your comment as well about the baboons. That's very interesting, but Jive Bunny, that you say that the baboons are often seen on the night camera at Olifants on the Leopard Highway, which I'm guessing is probably this highway. Uh, Generally, baboons that I know of, obviously, just like us humans, monkeys and baboons have terrible eyesight. So at night, they will do their very best to make sure they make their way up to the top of their roosting tree. So if you're out in the bush camping around sunset between 5:30 and 6:30, you'll kind of see the baboons and monkeys start closing up their day, making their way to their roosting point. Oh, this guy's got a bit of a limp. And they will, then head up to their roosting points for the night, and that's where they keep safe and sound from all the predators. And of course, if they get disturbed at all, then you'll hear the male baboons making quite a raucous bow, bow. See if there's any fresh tracks, any birds around, any leopards maybe. So baboon is one of a leopard's, I wouldn't say preferred kind of prey species. I would say convenient prey species. I don't think any leopard really likes to eat a baboon, but if a leopard is hungry enough, whoop, another little monkey, he will definitely go for a baboon. It's not the most delicious of meals. I know a leopard would much prefer to have a nice little bushbuck, but in desperate times calls for desperate measures. So often see leopards killing a baboon, so a baboon does not like to see leopard. But the leopard does need to be very careful because especially male baboons have rather large incisors and you don't want to get a bite from that baboon. Rather nasty. In some areas where there's a lot of human wildlife conflict, dogs do get ripped apart by baboons very quickly, so you need to be rather careful. In Victoria Falls, it's an ongoing issue. I think actually at the moment in Victoria Falls, there seems to be a female leopard with a cub that has moved into the area. Maybe her home range has been compromised in some way, and she's taken it upon herself to be the neighborhood cleanup of dogs. Not many stray dogs in Victoria Falls. Unfortunately, this female leopard is moving around and taking dogs out of people's yards. So I would definitely keep your little pooches inside at the moment if you live in Victoria Falls. Look at these little vervet monkeys playing about. It's quite a large troop of vervet monkeys, I must say. Our bushbuck are still there. Bushbuck is another creature I would also not mess with. Those horns of theirs, the males, can cause quite a nasty puncture wounds, and they can be quite aggressive bushbuck males if cornered or if they feel threatened. My sister works in a camp on the Zambezi River, and they've got a bushbuck male there that's managed to get some piece of canvas wrapped around his horns, and they're wondering how to get it removed, and he's quite a tame chap. He's been around the camp for a while. Thought maybe it might be as easy as just trying to grab it and cut it with a pair of scissors and pull it off, but we were very quickly advised by many wildlife professionals that no, rather get some veterinarians to come in, wildlife vets, to dart the animal and remove any obstructing kind of objects from this individual, because bushbuck males can be fiercely aggressive with those short horns of theirs, and I would not want to be stabbed by those little sharp horns of the bushbuck. So if you're ever on safari in Africa, a lot of bushbuck is an antelope that does tame quite easily. So around a lot of camps in Africa, you will find there's bushbuck might be quite tame around the camps, roaming around, not too afraid of people. But please always take extra caution when you do bump into a bushbuck. I mean, the females, besides giving you a nasty headbutt, are sort of harmless, but and not as aggressive. But the males, if you corner them and they feel trapped, you would not want to be on the receiving end of those sharp, spiky horns of theirs. So please do be very careful. So lovely to see this female bushbuck with our male from yesterday. Jive Bunny, thank you very much. For your comment about all the wildlife news. Yeah, I don't always have time to watch all the safaris, the sunrise and sunset safaris, but and I must say that only because of Wild Earth I've been on Facebook a little bit more than I used to be. Otherwise, I would probably go months, if not years, without going on Facebook. But because of Wild Earth now, I do try to check in on the Facebook pages and see what's happening. Also, messaged Cedric earlier. I'm dying to know what's happening with Tlalamba and her little cubs. I know they haven't been seen for a few days. I know she was seen a couple of days ago, possibly trying to make a hunt or stalking something, but I know her little cubs have not been seen recently, which is so worrying because I know that she has lost two of her previous um, yeah, cubs that she's had. So yeah, I hope these ones are just hidden somewhere very safe and that we will see them shortly. But yes, Jive Bunny, good to keep up to date with what's happening on the safari vehicles as well. Yeah. And from the wildlife side of things, Jive Bunny, I don't know if you're following much about what's happening in Kruger National Park, but basically, African Parks is just a couple, I think it was in June, had a big rewilding program, basically reintroducing a whole bunch of rhinos, white rhinos, back into the greater Kruger National Park, which was also an incredible project that they have taken on. Amazing to have so many rhinos reintroduced back into the greater Kruger. So you can go and have a look for the details of this project um, on Google, and you can get a full list of information. But yeah, African Parks is doing some amazing work in the Kruger National Park to reintroduce all these rhinos. Whoa, what's happening with these monkeys? Something just chased them. Oh my gosh. Something definitely gave those monkeys a bit of a spook. Oh. So basically, yeah, what? Just getting back to the whole rewilding project that African Parks is a part of. So basically, if you are not quite so up to date with current news on the this rhino project that African Parks has taken on, so there was a massive rhino farm that was purchased by African Parks with 2,000 white rhino. Um, and I mean, African Parks is not normally involved in kind of rhino farms and kind of that industry, but this poor rhino farm, the owner was struggling to keep it afloat, and these rhinos needed to be saved. So African Parks went and purchased this um, rhino farm, And so far, I think they've already introduced at least 120 of these white rhino. They've already rewilded, which is what they're calling it, into protected areas. And this project will be taking place over the next 10 years. And yeah, I know African Parks also rewilded some rhinos last year in, where was it? In Chad. I think they have some plans for South Sudan as well. So yeah, it's a very big rewilding project that's taking place by African Parks, and amazing to get these animals all back into their natural environment. Oops, this bushbuck, she's looking at something. What's there, girl? Seems to be some sort of disturbance. What on earth is going on? This monkey's got a fright from something. We had a really cool sighting yesterday of a little baby crocodile. Maybe at some stage, oh, there we go. We've got some impala that have just come out of nowhere. Where on earth did they come from? We had a really epic sighting yesterday of a little baby crocodile in the river. So maybe just now, once we've checked out what's happening with these impala, we can go and see if our little crocodile is in the river again. Looks like a yearling, probably almost a year old, probably from the hatching of last year, August, September. So it doesn't look too much older than a year. So what I'm guessing is probably happening here, folks, is I would guess there's probably a jackalberry tree close by, and that's what's attracting all this wildlife to this area. The jackalberry fruit are delicious. I had some when I was in Zimbabwe a few weeks ago, and it is very, very nice fruit. Of course, it is very difficult to actually access because, yeah, if normally the fruits that are closer to the ground would have been eaten by something, so you actually have to climb the tree, fight with the baboons and monkeys to get some of the fruit at the top of the tree. So yeah, and what happens is the baboons and monkeys go to the tops of the trees, and while they're feeding, fruit will be falling down, and that's when all your antelope on the ground will have a chance to snatch up some leftovers. I think our crocodile was somewhere by the twig, yeah, further on the left, or yeah, maybe just down here, somewhere there. Oh, there we go. There he is. Hello, little guy. He's still there. So again, crocodiles further to the right. So crocodiles will be, again have preferred sunbathing beach spots. Should you say? Just like I don't know if anyone watches Big Bang Theory, just like how Sheldon has his spot and only sits in his spot, so do crocodiles, and so many other animals will have home ranges and territories. Leopards will also have preferred resting places or jackalberry trees, just like Lalamba and so many of the other leopards on Juma have their special trees we all know they like to hang out in. Where's our crocodile gone? There we go. Hello, little crocodile. He's not moved too much since yesterday. We've got some blacksmith plovers here. Oh, he's just giving us a different angle today. Oh, he's playing very hard to get. So a lot of the plovers, for example, the little three-banded plovers that might hang along the river edges with the bigger crocodiles, I have actually seen three-banded plovers going and helping to be little kind of, what did you say, little bacteria removers, or they go and pick at the crocodile's teeth, pick out any leftover meat or any cavities or any bacteria that might be congesting in their teeth. kind of act like a free dental service for the crocodiles. I haven't seen any eating them before, but then again, I have seen a cattle egret being eaten by a crocodile. Again, that must have been a rather hungry crocodile. So we were talking about yesterday how crocodiles, it's a hard life out there for a crocodile. It's really, in most wildlife ecosystems, it's yeah, survival of the fittest, and everything wants to eat everything. So this little crocodile needs to live for another 20 to 30 years before he's guaranteed to be big enough that he's a threat to most other animals in the ecosystem. For a baby crocodile, his first, definitely first 6 weeks to 1 year, 6 weeks, 8 weeks to a year is the most crucial time in their life where they are literally on the menu of so many other mammals and birds. I mean, crocodiles, baby crocodiles, I've seen pretty much everything eating baby crocodiles. I've seen baby crocodiles being eaten by water monitors, other crocodiles, fish, egrets, herons, um, snakes, what else? African fish eagles. So yeah, this little crocodile, he's got a long way to go before he's in the clear. So Jungle Jim, welcome to the show. Jungle Jim is asking about, can algae become a problem to crocodiles? So Jungle Jim, I wouldn't say that algae would be a problem to crocodiles. Generally, their skin, they've got very thick skin that the algae normally, it can discolor at times and might change the shape of a change the color of a crocodile. But I wouldn't say that it's become a problem for crocodiles. Algae can more so be a problem to the aquatic life in an ecosystem, like fish. So if there's too much algae on a small pad of water, it can actually. So some algae is kind of oxygen fixing, and some algae can actually suffocate a water source. So like we're in the dry season now. What will be happening across southern Africa or Africa is all these pans and waterholes will be slowly drying and filling up with more and more algae. And I've seen it in quite a few places through Zimbabwe and Zambia, where the pans are actually being suffocated by an algae or um, weed species. The water hyacinth is definitely a very bad invasive aquatic plant that again takes out all the oxygen of the water, leaving no oxygen for the fish and killing a lot of water aquatic mammals. Bulrushes as well. I know there's a Makwa Pan in Wangi National Park at the moment. Well, goodness gracious me. It's completely overrun with this bulrush that has taken over the whole pan, and there's actually not much space left for anything to. Yeah, there's definitely no elephant parties happening there. So, yeah, I hope that answers your question, Jungle Jim. Let's see what water birds we can hear. I'm hearing obviously our blacksmith plover, could be a white crowned plover also calling in the background there. Blackwing stilts earlier. What else do we have here? What birds do we So Jungle Jim, coming back to your question about algae and crocodiles, I just recalled that there was actually a time, I think it was 2007, 2008, along the Olifants Gorge, when there was a huge die out of crocodiles around, must have been 150 to 160 crocodiles, which were recorded to have been dead. And again, it's difficult to determine the exact cause of the deaths of these crocodiles. I know it was suspected that it was an algae, it could have been some sort of an algae buildup um, on the water system. But again, I know it was also possibly linked to spillages of factories, some kind of toxic water or toxic waste that was also um, being pumped into the rivers that could have also been a cause. I know it was affecting a lot of aquatic life, like fish and catfish. A lot of fish were also dying as well. So, yeah, when something massive like this happens, especially water and fish are very good indicator species of a healthy ecosystem. So if you see a lot of dead fish, that can be quite a big indicator. Um, so this was quite a terrible die out. I know they did come to a conclusion and hopefully kind of got to the source of the problem, but it could have been an algae buildup due to toxic waste being pumped into the Olifants River, which I'm sure has been stopped by now. What do we have here? More impala. Also, one has to remember if we have unhealthy fish in an environment, if crocodiles are feeding on a lot of fish, that will obviously directly affect the crocodiles. So these fish will probably being infected with this disease and causing the crocodiles to also get quite sick themselves. So yeah, shame. I remember there was a big article done on that. Cool. Sounds like we've got a humpcop that might be hunting over at Rosie's pan. Let's head over there and see if our hummercop is going to be lucky. I love the way these hummercops hunt. Another nickname of the hummercop is the DJ bird because when he's in the water hunting, he shakes his feet around just like a DJ on his DJ board going on there. See if he's going to catch anything. So again, good meal for a little hummercop would be a frog. I know frogs are definitely the hummercop's favorite food, but they are not like the French, unfortunately. They don't only eat the legs, they like to eat the whole frog. And sometimes they bite off a little bit more than they can chew and have to break the frog up a little bit in order to be able to swallow it. So, yeah, rather can be quite entertaining trying to watch a little hammercop swallow a frog that's definitely way too big for him to consume. Another prey species of hammerkop would be little fish. I've also seen hammerkops digging through elephant dung, possibly for little grubs as well. But yeah, hammerkops' preferred meal, I always notice, is frogs. What is in the water there? Could be a little fish, could be a terrapin. Trying to see if our little hammerkop friend is going to make a kill. There was something moving in the reeds on the right hand side there. Could have been a fish, could have been a little terrapin. Doesn't seem to be anything moving now. Oh. So I was just refreshing my mind about the whole crocodiles and crocodiles dying due to algae. Well, it was thought to be some sort of algae in the Olifants and Kruger area, mainly in 2007. There was quite a big die out, and it is actually was kind of narrowed down to possibly being some sort of pansteatic inflammation, which is caused by the consumption of the body fats. It would be contaminated body fats from fish, from rancid fish that the crocodiles were eating, which, as far as I understand, they were then not able to digest and was kind of getting into the crocodile's body fat system. And then obviously eventually killing the crocodiles. So, like I said, it was 2007, 2008 when they had this first major outbreak, but as far as I understand, since then it has been kept under control, and crocodiles in the ecosystem are a lot more happy and being protected. So Mercedes Benz, yes, we're waiting for our hammerkop to do the shuffle, the karaoke shuffle. He's not being a very good hunter, is he, this hammerkop? Maybe he's tired, enjoying the shade of these reeds, or maybe he has a plan. Maybe he's concealing himself while whatever moves on the other side of the reeds here has no idea he's there. So we've got some eland over at Oldonyo in Kenya. Let's head over and see what our eland are doing, because our hammerkop does not seem to be a very effective hunter today. Oh, whoa, check at this. We've got a lot of activity over here at Oldonyo. Some beautiful eland females that have come down for a drink. Some zebra in the background and a giraffe. Look at this female that's right next to the giraffe. This female eland. She looks rather pregnant, I must say. Looks like she could be dropping any time. See that big belly of hers. Just going to enjoy these lovely sounds of this beautiful scene. We've got some wattled starlings that once we have a quiet moment to just unwind and enjoy this beautiful scene, we'll hear these wattled starlings flapping about in the water. Lovely to see some eland here today. This is my first time. Oh, little naughty youngster getting a bit rowdy with his sibling. You can see there's two youngsters in the group here, but this is mostly females. Like I said, there's one there that looks rather round. Looks like she's going to drop any moment. These are the common eland. They all look like they are in quite good condition, I must say. Big female eland can weigh anything between about 400 to 600 kilograms. There's a few youngsters at the back there. They look like they could be maybe between 150 to 200 kilograms. Some oxpeckers sitting on there. Female giraffe that we had earlier on the African, very settled. I don't know if you could say that. She's also standing in the corner at the beginning of the show, looking over. Oh, here's a male coming by. Maybe we'll get a bit of action. It's been rather busy over here at Aldonio. I know we have been having some technical difficulties with our cameras here, so please do bear with us if you might lose the feed at any stage. But yeah, it has been very busy here at Aldonio. Nice to see so much activity. We did have a secretary bird here earlier, some warthogs, two very impressive elephant bulls, of course, giraffe, zebra, and eland. And this giraffe, this male, if you have a look at him, one of his ossicones does not look very aligned. Looks like it's possibly been shifted or maybe partially broken at some stage. Could have been in a big fight. Yeah, his left hand ossicone is definitely rather strange. While we are on the subject of algae and bacteria, I know in places in Botswana and also in Wangi National Park, must have been about 2 years ago now, there was also a big die out of elephants that was also, again, suspected to be an algae based disease. A lot of elephants were suspiciously dying from this algae. But again, it seemed to be a very contained outbreak, as it was only within a certain area and hasn't happened since then. So very mysterious. Let's have a look at this beautiful giraffe bull having a drink. So I don't know how everybody else's week has been going, but I must say I have really been enjoying the live at the waterhole feeds the last 2 days. Elephant Bull joining us, and he's got looks like he's got a little bit of secretion from his temporal glands there. Could be a bull in must. So Nina Brown is asking if giraffe bulls form bonds with each other. So Nina, we were talking about giraffe yesterday actually, and yeah, so giraffe have quite a loose family kind of aggregational structure where they don't actually form solid bonds with one another. Generally, they'll hang out in groups, but they don't stay with each other for too long. Sometimes you can find bulls on their own, you can find them with other bulls. And yeah, I think they just kind of have a loose kind of family structure, whether it be, I find females, you'll generally see a lot of the same females possibly with each other for longer periods rather than bulls. Bulls, I think they have giraffe bulls or two, they're a bit airheady. I kind of feel like they're just like, oh, well, I'm going to go over here today. And this one's like, well, I'm going to go over there today. So, yeah, they don't really form tight knit family bonds as with the elephant. Look at this view. Isn't this a special view? Zebra, giraffe, and a big elephant bull having a nice afternoon drink. So it's been a lovely couple of days. I will be with you tomorrow as well on the live at the waterhole cameras. Looking forward to it, obviously. Oh, look, the sunshine is coming out there. I don't know if we have any yogis that are watching the show today, but I definitely need to do some meditating and some yoga. So it's a Thursday. I don't know about everybody else, but I'm definitely winding down to enjoy a nice, relaxing weekend. So I'd like to take a few moments of silence where we can just watch this beautiful scenery in front of us. Whatever you're doing, please put everything down and just join me for a quiet moment of silence to just take a few deep breaths. Let everything go from your week and just enjoy the healing power of nature. All right. Enjoy this quiet time, folks, and don't forget to breathe deeply. Stop whatever you're doing and let your worries wash away. You can even throw a bit of a lion breath in there. So you take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, you just exhale all your problems. Well, we have another elephant jaw here, and he has a rather unusual tusk. Have a look at that left-hand side tusk. It looks like it's been, wow, possibly in a self dislodged from its chamber. Whoa, look at these bulls coming in. Isn't that a sight for sore eyes? How lucky are we today? Look at these big beasts. We were just in Okakuyo over in Ethiopia, and I mentioned about the short tusks that those elephants in Ethiopia have due to the mineral deficiencies, whereas look at the impressive tusks of all of these individuals here. That elephant with the bent tusk brings you a hard time. You can see, yeah, it's tattered. Yeah, tusk has slowly been damaged. listen to these gentle giants in the drink. Isn't this a wonderful way to end our live at the waterhole today? How lucky are we if you've been with us today? It's been lovely being with you. This is a lovely sight. Look at these boys. Definitely a bachelor herd of elephant bulls. See the one on the left, he was by himself, but unlike with the giraffe, you will find elephant bulls. They can be solitary, but sometimes they'll also form a bit of a boy band and hang out together with some other bulls for safety and protection, or also for company purposes. Play and someone to play and fight with in order to prepare themselves for manhood or claiming their own females one day. Oh, look at these big boys. Let me in. I'm coming in here. Again, you can see there's two elephant bulls here, the ones on the far left and on the right here, with a bit of secretion from their temporal glands. It could be a sign that they are in musk, meaning they have elevated levels of testosterone. It could alter their behavior in some way, make them a lot more aggressive. That's just rather unusual. Keep it completely. So what could have happened? Either it is possible that it just grows in a different angle, but what does happen as well is maybe during a fight, it could be, as I said, like either broken in the kind of cavity within its face and starts growing another direction, or from birth it just grew a very strange direction. It's rather unusual, I must say. I'm still waiting to see that big bull wonton. I have not seen him yet. Pretty awesome if he could show himself sometime. Oh, these boys are having the best time. It must be a nice, kind of a warm day in Algonia. There's a bit of cloud cover, but probably a bit hot. These guys have walked very far to get to this watering hole, so they are definitely ceasing the day, carpe diem, making the most of the water that they have in front of them. So this elephant with the kind of few tusk, that will definitely give him quite a severe disadvantage when it comes to fighting with other bulls. He would definitely not be as effective as if he had the normal tusks. So the chance of him being able to make the breed with females, I would say, is rather slim, unfortunately. You gotta make sure you get all the water everywhere. Cool the body down, nice and cool. And then in a few hours, they'll go and find a tree to rub off on, get rid of all those parasites, give themselves a bit of an exfoliation. So elephant bulls, generally in Kruger National Park, I did see somewhere that apparently in Kruger, most elephant bulls will generally go into musk during the periods of March to May, and females will generally go into heat season from December to January. But of course, this does vary and differ from region to region. It may give or take a few months here and there. I was talking about yesterday how I saw a lot of pregnant female elephants in Wangi National Park and also in Botswana on some of my recent trips, which was a slight bit concerning because generally it would be ideal for elephants to have their babies in the rainy season when there's an abundance of food and water. Whereas if they give birth halfway through the dry season, it's very taxing on a mother elephant to try and feed her baby, and also for a baby to keep up with the herd when they're moving large distances every day in order to find food and water. So my prayers do go out to all these baby elephants that are going to be born in this dry season. It's also a lot of regions. This year is going to be quite tough. It's going to be a bit of a drought this year. So we're hoping that all of our animals will manage to survive through the dry season. Helena, thank you very much for watching the show. Thank you for listening. I hope that you join us again tomorrow, and please bring some questions. I'm ready for your questions. And thank you for listening to my ranting about wildlife. We've had some pretty epic sightings today, I must say. It's been really special. It's been an elephant day today, I must say. A lot of elephant activity. So just want to thank everyone, all of our viewers, and our director team here in Johannesburg for a lovely couple of hours live at the waterhole. Please don't forget to join us tomorrow, same time, same place. I will be with you tomorrow as well. And yeah, excited to see what is going to be happening on the sunset safaris on Juma. Are the lions all still going to be around? Are we going to see Kalamba's babies? What's going to happen on Amakala? Are the amigos, the three amigos, still around? So please join us for the sunset safaris today if you want to see what's happening on our different locations. From me and the rest of the team, thank you very much for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day.
It's such a gorgeous, gorgeous afternoon in Juma today. It feels almost like summer. It's just a beautiful temperature, and I'm really excited to do my first stint in a tent. I'm a little bit nervous, I won't lie. All the tech is not my forte, but I'm sure we'll figure it all out as we go along. But it's lovely having you here. We've got Albertus behind the camera with us this afternoon, and I'm sure we're going to have a really interesting afternoon together.